All right, Team YouTube.
Team YouTube, that's
Team
new.
YouTube.
All right.
We're gonna test Papa Saurus. We got all those fueling upgrades installed on this truck, and now we're gonna do some turbo shootouts.
This is the ultimate drop-in turbo shootout for Dodge second gens. This is freaking cool. Like, you're the king of like do cool intros. Your intros are lame. Do something cooler. Go.
Ready, set. All right, guys.
There it is. There it is.
We're testing drop-in turbos for second-gen Dodge poverty pump trucks. For those of you who don't speak Josh McCormick lingo, that's P-pump.
We are doing a super drop-in test turbo thingamajig. So we've got Papa Saurus all fueled up, right? 500 horsepower fuel package.
It's got our 500 horse fuel package, AFC Live, governor springs. It's got some head bolts in it.
Boots.
Stock transmission.
So that, we'll have to see how that holds up. We may have to address that. We'll see.
So this might be a part 1, part 2 if the transmission starts slipping.
Yeah.
But we do have a lockup switch,
yeah, so,
and we know it's been rebuilt 200,000 miles ago.
So it's like new.
It's brand new, basically.
So we have a whole bunch of turbos to test, and we're not going to get them all in one video. Today we're going to test the stock turbo versus the K27, and maybe some more. We got some new turbos we've been working on.
And guys have been asking forever, how much power does a K27 add over a stock HX35?
Yep.
And this truck is like 90% of the ones rolling down the road. It's never really been upgraded or modified, but then finally somebody got it, me, put some fueling parts and some valve springs. It still has a factory exhaust.
This is a drop-in turbo shooter.
It still has a factory airbox. And I did pull the air filter out because I saw the field reminder getting pulled down when I was doing burnouts.
Yep.
And
let's not have that be the we're not testing filters, we're testing turbos.
But I did leave the factory airbox because I watched some Banks videos, and I know that hot air now is bad. I didn't know that before.
Oh, that's good to know. Thanks.
And I wanted every little tenth of a horsepower to show up on this test.
That's right. So turbos we're going to be testing. We've actually been working on expanding our aggressor line.
Should we do a test with the airbox on and off and try sucking hot air with the hood closed versus the airbox pulling cold air out of the
Maybe that'll be like
fender?
an outtake. We'll do that at the end or something, because we want to have good testing.
That would be interesting.
This is like a testing video. Maybe we'll pop that at the end, but we want to test apples to apples. I don't want to do that 100 times. So first off is our stock turbo, right? Bone stock, never been off. 400,000.
Bone stock has a boost double on it. That's
boost
it.
Double. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a couple simple parameters. We want to see max power, obviously. We got an EGT gauge, so we want to see what kind of heat we're going to make at max power. We also are going to use AFC Live to limit peak EGT to 1,350 degrees at about 70 miles an hour. So we're going to put the dyno to say, hold this thing at 70 miles an hour. I'm going to flat foot it, and we're going to see how much power we can make at 1,350 degrees EGT.
Now we believe that would be equivalent to about 1,250 with 70 mile an hour air and moving and air coming through. But since we're stationary in a dyno, we usually see about 100-degree increase here versus real world. So that's why we picked 1350.
And that's all a ballpark, of course, but that'll be our apples to apples comparison. And so we can kind of see as these turbos progress, how much power can this turbo support at 1350 versus this turbo, and what kind of, can we even get that hot with bigger turbos? So like I said, we've really ramped up our aggressor turbos. We got a bunch of different drop-ins now for this truck we're going to be testing. It's going to be a lot of turbos we're going to test. It's going to be a lot of fun to get some data. So yeah, peak power, peak boost. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do spool up overlays. We're gonna see how fast turbos spool up. To make this fair, we're gonna go like to 1,500 RPM. I'm gonna let off the throttle, let it drop. As soon as it hits 1,300 RPM, I'm gonna flat foot it on every single one. That way you're not getting, sometimes you see in a dyno graph, you'll see like this had like 400 foot-pounds more of torque. You'll see one started here and one started way up here. That means this turbo started under a boost, and so of course it makes more torque. They need to start basically the same spot, no boost, to see how much torque it's going to make, how much faster it spools up. So we want an accurate comparison. And we'll talk more about that, here we're going. But for now, stock turbo, how much power is it going to make?
My guess, stock turbo, 341 horsepower.
341. Wow, that's pretty exact. That's a pretty sweet burnout you did. I mean, the most I've ever seen is 360 out of an HX35 stock, and that was on a truck that we hopped up more aggressively than this. That's
more fueling than
more
this,
fueling,
for sure.
harder. So I think 341 is maybe a little aggressive. I'm going 325.
325, 341, and this is for a Blizzard, a Dairy Queen?
I'm on a diet. I'm trying to get less fat, so I can stop. Next time I wreck, it won't hurt so much.
So if I win, you're still going to get me a Blizzard?
I'll get you a Blizzard. If I win,
guys, I'm going to win.
Just know that I'm smarter than you.
Oh, but you're driving. Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Shakes a little bit.
Okay.
Kill some of that noise of the window.
So we're about 1400. I'm going to drop it now.
Wait, are you in lockup yet? Oh yeah, it says you're at 1400.
Okay, so I'm going to drop to 13.
Hit start yet. Okay, it's ready to go.
There it is.
It's going. Oh, it slipped the converter. You feel it?
Yeah, we're just stuck.
Is it locked up?
It's locked, yeah. 16.
Oh, how'd it get?
17 is 32, scary. Come on, baby.
We're there, we're there. Oh, look at all that smoke and oil coming off there.
Yeah. It's all that stuff you scored in the bolts.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys, so we were on the converter that whole time. It pushed right through the lockup. Right, Todd?
So that means
there's the camera right there.
So that means I'm going to be closer to the horsepower than him because it's not a true power number, so I'm going to win.
So we got to put a trans in before we can do more testing.
Yeah, so hang on while we put a transmission in this bad boy. But let's still see what the power was. What was it?
To be continued here. What was the power? Here, use the mouse. Let's see what the horsepower was. 316.
316. I guess 325. So you'll probably be pretty close. The converter's not broke. But
316.
I did win.
805 torque. Now the torque number is cheated because the stall of the converter helped it.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been that high, but it pushed through, and so it thought it was at low RPM.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
So 316. So I win the power. Guess for now. But you're probably closer with the converter because I mean I'm sure we lost more than 10 horsepower from that converter because we went whoa. It was right there, man.
Right through the converter.
Right through the converter. So yeah, a few fueling mods, a stock turbo can be more powerful, make more power than your stock train can handle with 200,000
Or the walk-up clutch in the converter, which is normally
the weak spot.
What we see.
Yeah. So anyway, let's put a tranny in this thing. Here we go.
All right, guys, so my guys at the shop always give me crap, but I never help with transmissions installed. So I got to put at least one bolt into the transmission for Papa Saurus so that they don't, I guess so that they can't call me out anymore. So I'm going to put this in the one that Meyer left out for the dipstick to make it hard on him, which means he's going to have to pull it back out to put the dipstick in. It's right up here. This one right up above the dowel here. You got some light there. Right there, that's the dipstick one. So we'll put it in that one. Hey, do you got a 14 or a 9/16 on hand? Sent it. That install's done. Okay, turn the camera off. I gotta pull this back out now so Meyer doesn't beat me up.
All right, guys, we are back.
Round two.
Round two. Next day, we had to build a transmission for this. We ended up building a little bit nicer one because this is going to be a race truck very shortly. So I'm hoping this 1,000 horsepower transmission can hang with these stock turbos. What do you think?
It better. And we had to make it full manual for race truck.
Yep.
But we have not put a shifter in. So your column shifting this big?
Yeah.
And what's this little toggle switch
This
in
is
your
so I
hand
can
there?
get overdrive and lockup. So we kind of had to jimmy rig this pretty quick, so I can, you know, hopefully switch through this and make this thing work. All I need to do is get this thing in overdrive, locked up, and then the dyno will do the rest. We just need to find a way to get it there, you know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to start.
The fluid was really black on that trans. In fact, I drove it back to that shop, and I did a burnout when I left, just because. And when I brought it back over so that we could put a trans in it, it would not shift out of first gear.
Oh.
So I got the trans plugged up enough.
You finished it off.
I finished it off in one burnout. So
Nice.
let's just say maybe a stock tranny would have held, or maybe not.
Yeah, stock trannies and upgrades don't go well together. That is the Achilles heel of the Cummins, especially second gen Dodges. If you're gonna add power, just be prepared. You're gonna spend money in the transmission, either with an upgraded clutch for your manual guys or for a full tranny build for you automatic guys. It needs to happen, just realize that. But right now, we're gonna see what the stock turbo can do. Last time I guessed 325 and you guessed 340.
I think 341.
I think I'm gonna go up because we got I mean, that's kind of unfair because now I have like some data, but it was unlocked. I think we're gonna pick up, I'm gonna go 350 this round.
350, huh?
Yeah, I think we lost at least 30 something more.
If you're raising that, then I'm going to go 349.
349,
You're
good
going to
night.
play prices right,
Price is
right under
Right.
you. I don't think it'll be over 350, but I think there's a chance it could be like 347, 348. So I'm going 349 so I can do that. If it goes over 350,
Then
you
I'm
win.
2 for 2.
But I did already have my Blizzard today,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm working my Coke, so I don't need any more ice cream. I already...
Well, you're just gonna get even. If you win, we're even. I won the first one. Silly. All right, let's get this thing rolling. Here we go. Whoa, 40 pounds of boost. Woo! Oh, don't blow up, turbo. Oh, that's so scary.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
All right, 426 horsepower at 2142. Now, Todd, why do you think it made peak power so early?
Because it's
2142?
because it's a tiny turbo. That's where it peak boost. After that, the turbo couldn't keep up no more. Just dropped like a rock.
That was a 16-second pull.
Oh, that was like, oh, just don't blow up. Don't blow up. It took it.
16.4 seconds.
It took it, man.
So let's look at by engine speed here. So peak torque happened at 1,878 RPM.
1,800. This thing's a pulling monster.
That turbo came right up, and then peak horsepower, you know, right there, 2120, 2130 RPM. And then it kept going, and you get up there like 3,200 RPM, it was only making 368 horsepower.
So it dropped 60 horsepower. You lost 60 horsepower up there.
It was just a constant fall the whole way. Just heat soak, out of turbo, maybe choking on the turbine flow.
Yeah.
Did the boost drop as it kept going up?
Absolutely. Absolutely dropped. It peaked at about 40. Well, let me turn it on here. Let's see peak boost.
Yeah, let's see the peak recall. This is the boost recall.
Yeah, I swear I hit 40 that run. 39,
39?
38, 39. But again, by the end of the run, it was 31, 32. It couldn't
Let's
do
see
it.
the EGT was.
All right, EGT peak was?
I'm guessing 1,600 plus.
Oh, yeah. 1,700. All right, so now we're going to try to figure out if we can do some like sustained EGT testing. We updated our dyno software, and it's not as easy as it used to be. We're going to try and hold a steady mile an hour and put my foot on the floor and try to tune the AFC Live to around a 1,350 degree EGT so we can do the same fuel setting for future turbos. I don't know if it's going to work with our new software. We're still trying to figure it out, so hang out with us for a minute while we try to figure this out and see if we can get you some real good EGT towing type simulations. Locked now.
Spicy.
Okay, we're gonna try.
Go for it. It's rampant. What's your EGT?
700.
trying to blow up my truck before my race?
No, I'm not trying to blow up. That's why I put it in neutral, because it's getting hot. That was tough. I couldn't, I mean, because of...
Yeah, the dyno wouldn't load.
Yeah, that's hard. I got it till I was pretty close.
The only other thought I had is you could tune the fuel where you think it's there and do a power run where the max EGT only hits 1250, and then you could leave it at the same fuel setting for the next one and see if the EGT is lower and if it makes more power, and that would kind of give you a, and just the max during a loaded to 3200 run, that would be consistent.
Okay.
That's ready.
All right, need more fuel.
So I got to what, 1100 or so?
Yeah, I need more fuel. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna try to add some load to slow down the runs, and we're gonna add some fuel and see if we're gonna just kind of have to play with this for a minute, so hang out while we figure it out. Here we go. How'd you go?
27.
You probably would stop and go lower.
Don't you want to be at that range? Just turn the fuel down a little? Because we still got the 300 horsepower.
Okay. All right, we were about 8 or 9 PSI on AFC Live. Working our way up to this window. We're at 1100.
Boost slowly climbing.
1200.
Okay, got it.
1300 on the dot. So we'll use 1300 as our peak EGT for our future testing on this sweep. We're going to try to tune our fueling to make that EGT on the sweep so we can compare power across the different turbos. So hopefully that'll make it work good.
Okay.
I think we're ready to say goodbye to the HX35. It did way better. It did. Oh, Papa Saurus, shut up. It's truck, dude. There you go. That 35 did way better than I ever anticipated, honestly.
I totally agree. I mean, it killed it.
Yeah, like you totally lost the bet because you were bad. And so 432 is peak power.
So the next turbo, let's just move right on, is the K27. Your honest opinion now, is it going to do better or worse than this turbo?
I think it does better. It's got a little bit bigger inducer. I think it's a 450. I think we're going to pick up 20, 30 horse with that guy. What do you think?
I mean, our best was 432, but that was the second run on the heat soak, so the next one will be pretty cool. 26 under that would be 450. I think it's going to do 458.
458
is my guess.
450. Maybe you should do the first guess. I'm going to guess 457. No,
well, you guess what you
I'm
want.
sticking 450. We tell people it's a 450 horsepower turbo. I think it is. So that's the.
I'm guessing 458.
Let's see if we can say we're underselling this bad boy. That'll be cool. All right, let's put the K27 on. All right, we are back. This is the same day. It's about 40 minutes later after we left off. K27 is now installed. We reused the same boost elbow out of the HX35, so the pressure going to the wastegate head will be the same. We're going to do the same runs, a full power run. Then we're going to set up some trailer weight and see how much power we can make with a max CGT of around 1300 to see if we can hopefully get an apples to apples comparison. We will do some spool up overlay so we can see how quick this turbo spools up compared to the stock HX35. And yeah, let's just see how this thing goes. Here we go right now, full power run. Lock up.
That lock shift on the dyno's a little violent, huh?
Yep.
Hopefully all the straps are still there.
I think so.
If it starts getting away, you got your bumper into neutral.
Okay, so you ready to start?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Let's see what the boost does. Oh, more boost!
Yeah. 32, 16. Oh, more heat. 32.
Got it. So first thing I noticed, it only took about 15 seconds to do the run.
More power.
So I had to have made more power. Graph by engine speed. Look how much flatter that is,
yeah,
too.
It carried it way better.
It carried it way better.
I bet you if you do like, I'll be curious when you overlay it, see how much better it is at the top end.
Okay, and we're going to compare this to...
So this here shows me that on this run here, it started recording. I rolled into it earlier. The fact that it started up higher.
Let's go by speed and see if they're the same though. By time. Yes, you started with a higher power. Yeah. So does that mean the HX35 took longer to get a 1500 where it started recording?
So
it got more boost built?
This is a 35, right? The orange?
Uh-huh. The lighter colored one's a 35.
So this is what's interesting to me. I definitely started higher, but it's a steeper slant. I'd say the 35
so I'd say 35 spools faster.
Touch quicker. I mean, not a lot, but a touch quicker. All right, guys. This is the first of our turbo testing. I think 2 turbos and a train swap's going to about burn up a whole video. So right now, the K27 is a nice little upgrade for the HX35. We picked up a little over 20 peak horsepower. We picked up a little over 30 towing horsepower with the same EGT, a little bit more boost. So it's a nice little upgrade if you have a worn out 35. This is a great option. Next up is going to be our HX35 with the 60mm HE351 wheel. I suspect we're going to keep going up in power, and it's going to be awesome. So wait for that next video to hit. It's going to be fun. Thanks, guys. Oh, like and subscribe. Come on, seriously, like and subscribe.